This is VOA News. I'm Jim Burtell. The search for answers is underway in Kazakhstan, where a passenger jet carrying nearly 100 people crashed Friday. AP's Mike Hempen has the story.
Officials say the plane had 98 people on board when it crashed in Almaty. Kazakhstan's deputy prime minister says investigators are looking into two possibilities for the cause: pilot error or technical failure. He says the plane's tail hit the runway twice, indicating it struggled to take off. A survivor says the plane started shaking less than 2 minutes after takeoff.
That's AP's Mike Hempen. 54 people were hospitalized, at least 10 of them in critical condition. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu easily won a vote to keep the Likud party helm. Reuters' Ciara Lee reports.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has won a vote to remain at the helm of the Likud party. It's a boost for the embattled leader ahead of what is likely to be a hard-fought general election in March, the third in less than a year. Netanyahu is under indictment and fighting for political survival. In November, he was charged with corruption in 3 criminal cases, and he has twice failed to form a government in the wake of 2 inconclusive national ballots. Netanyahu's centrist rival in those elections, Benny Gantz of the Blue and White Party, was also unable to form a coalition government.
That's Reuters' Ciara Lee. Civilians on Friday packed a road leading out of a flashpoint town in northwest Syria, where 2 weeks of heightened regime and Russian bombardment has displaced 235,000 people. Pickup trucks carrying mattresses, clothes, and household appliances ferried entire families out of town. The latest violence in the jihadist-dominated Idlib region has killed scores of civilians. This is VOA News. The wreckage of a helicopter carrying 7 people to one of the most rugged and remote coastlines in Hawaii has been found. County of Kauai Fire Department Battalion Chief Solomon Kanoho says searchers have recovered some remains.
The passenger manifest confirms 7 individuals were on board the aircraft, and we have recovered 6 sets of remains. There are no indications of survivors.
Kauai, Hawaii's 4th largest island, features sharp mountain peaks, jagged cliffs, and tropical rainforests. The U.S. military is offering details on the death of a U.S. Special Forces soldier in Afghanistan this week. AP's Ben Thomas reports.
A spokesman for U.S. forces in Afghanistan says Sergeant First Class Michael Goebel was with his unit when its members discovered an undisclosed amount of Taliban weapons in Kunduz province Monday. Goebel was killed and an Afghan service member wounded by an explosion as they were clearing out the cache. The Taliban had claimed it targeted the group with a roadside bomb.
That's AP's Ben Thomas. Russia's defense ministry says it deployed its first regiment of hypersonic nuclear-capable missiles on Friday. Russian President Vladimir Putin has boasted this weapon puts its country in a class of its own. Jerry Herman, the Tony Award-winning composer behind many Broadway shows, including Hello, Dolly, has died at the age of 88. AP's Julie Walker has more.
Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am.
Jerry Herman's I Am What I Am, one of his most popular tunes. His goddaughter, Jane Dorian, says he died from pulmonary complications in Miami, where he'd been living with his partner, real estate broker Terry Marlar. Herman created 10 Broadway shows and contributed to several more. He won 2 Tony Awards for Best Musical, Hello, Dolly and La Cage aux Folles. Tributes are pouring in from Broadway royalty. Harvey Fierstein tweeting, "We lost one of the greats." I'm Julie Walker.
As we near the end of 2019, it's time to remember some of the prominent people we lost during the year. The AP's Ed Donahue reports.
People like Congressman Elijah Cummings, who championed for the poor and for immigrants.
What country is that? This is the United States of America.
Retired Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens was the leader of its liberal wing and a proponent of abortion rights and consumer protections.
At the very least, I know that learning on the bench has been one of the most important and rewarding aspects of my own experience.
Lee Iacocca became a folk hero, rescuing one of Detroit's big 3.
You know, when I first took this crazy job, they were ready to bury Chrysler. Last year, you made us the fastest growing car and truck company in America.
And the leader of the Islamic State group was killed.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead.
I'm Ed Donahue.